Welcome to Biz and Banter in the Blue Room with yours truly, Stephanie Hammond. We'll talk business strategy, have a little banter, and I hope you walk away just a little bit more inspired.
This probably Chrissi Chapman because I'm going to get rid of the other one. So
Okay.
the other name.
Okay. That's why I didn't change mine. I mean, I also got married later in life, so I was like, yeah, that's too much work. If I was 20, maybe, but not. That ain't happening. That definitely.
Well, I was just so stupid because I got remarried. So Chapman was my first married name, but I got so angry after the divorce, I literally took my maiden name back.
Okay.
Then I got remarried and I was like, I was stupid. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take your name. So I took Topolesky, but I kept Chapman always as a DBA because that had been my professional name. That's my kid's name. So kept it professionally. Then I just, got married, changed my name again. Very short marriage. I've still had it. I have the papers to change it back. But it's a hassle. I got to go change everything to do it. So anyway.
Sam and I got married, and we had a COVID wedding. It wasn't even a wedding. We were at a park with 20 people, so it was great. Yeah. And I did have the intention of moving my maiden name into my middle name and then taking that last name. I woke up that next morning, and my heart was beating way too fast, even thinking about it and changing everything. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I was 39. I'm 39. I'm not doing this. Like, I've had the name for too long. So, This how we'll start our interview together. So
I love it.
Chrissi Chapman, I'm so excited to have you here. Yay! For those of you who don't know Chrissi, you need to know who she is. She's a branch vice president in Virginia, and you've been licensed since 2007, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been on every board possible. I mean, your list of, all of your awards and just. Yeah, you've done a few things. You've done a lot of things. But I want to say how I met you. We met each other for the first time at Gen Blue last year.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait for 2027. This better be a good one on the East Coast. But you got a tattoo at Gen Blue.
I did. Well, yes, I did. And actually what I think is so funny about that is so my boyfriend and I decided to go down to Vegas early, so ahead of Gen Blue. And so we got caught up in watching all the reels of things to do in Vegas. And it's like a place that we always went. So he came too because he was like, you're going to Vegas, I'm going to Vegas too. We always make lists of things we want to do when we're in town. And one of the places that had come up was like this famous tattoo studio that does a $10 tattoo. Now, the caveat to it is that you have to pick one of their $10 tattoos. So we were making it like kind of like a funny thing where he was going to pick the tattoo for me. I was going to pick the tattoo for him. The tattoo studio limited where you could put it on your body. So it couldn't be somewhere funky. I think it was like your shoulder down to your wrist, maybe like your knee to your ankle. I don't even remember. So naturally, we go in and we look at the list, and I call him my boo. I've always called him my boo. So I saw this little ghost, and I was basically like, the whole time I was going, yeah, that's the one you're going to pick for me. And he was like, oh, no, I'm going to pick you this. No, like, you're going to pick me the ghost. So anyway, like the dorks that we are, we got matching little ghost tattoos. And so we actually just got engaged on Sunday. We've been together over 4 years. So I had said, thank you. So I had always joked with him, like, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to get a Pac-Man to eat the ghost since this is a tattoo. But now that it appears it may be permanent, it's all good.
Well, congratulations. That is flipping amazing.
I know.
Did he do it wearing a ghost costume or anything,
He did not do anything like that, but he made it special. He surprised me. So a few years ago, I had an agent in my office. For her birthday, she had gotten alpacas like delivered to her house, and they hung out with her for her birthday for a couple hours, like a petting zoo kind of thing. And I commented on Facebook, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. I would die if somebody got me alpacas for my birthday. So I was sitting in my office one day. I had glass windows in front of my desk, and I was interviewing an agent who was coming on board to work with me. And I looked up And my assistant was walking two alpacas past my window, and I just like screamed. I got up, I went running out of the room. So the agent had rented alpacas for my birthday, and we hung out in the office for an hour taking pictures, and agents were calling other agents going, you need to come here right now. And so because so many people missed it, we rented them, and they came back for our Christmas party that year. And people from other brokerages were coming, like everybody was coming because they had seen it on Facebook. So I'm obsessed with alpacas. So we actually spent the day. He surprised me, took me to an alpaca farm. I got to feed them, pet them, feed goats, horses. And then we went to a winery, and he got down on one knee and popped the question. So it was a perfect day, and he absolutely surprised me. Nobody can surprise me because I always know something's going on. I can always sense it. 100% had no idea.
I love him. I have no idea. I don't
He's
even know
great.
what's his name.
David, he's great.
Shout out to you, David. Well done with the alpacas.
Very
And
well done.
I already know by the end of this conversation, I can feel it in my cheeks that they're gonna my face is gonna hurt from smiling so much. Like your energy is just unmatched, and I love
Thank
that.
you.
And the fact that he got you alpacas, I am going to send this conversation to my admins and just say, look, my birthday it's coming up 3 weeks. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's get some alpacas in here.
100%.
You are just one of those people that exudes energy and everything that you do. When I met you in person, I was like, this is no different than what I see online, right, on social media. How do you stay in that mindset? How do you stay with this positive energy and just this like give back, serving all? Where does that come from?
So I think like there's a couple things to it. So first of all, it's, my parents just were totally servant leaders, always volunteered, always gave of themselves, so I was modeled that when I grew up 100%. And so that's just in my DNA. Like I'm here to help people. I'm here to serve others. Like that's my purpose. So whether it's real estate, doing food drives, volunteering to put in my time and talent to help other people, like whatever it is, that's just where it comes from. It's just built into me. But from the energy perspective, funny because we're talking about, I just got engaged. I mean, I have a couple failed marriages behind me, and I tell people, the version of me that you meet today or that you met 5 years ago or whatever it's been a work in progress. I've not always been this way. And, I came from some very dark places, some places where, definitely if you had met me, you would not say I was energetic or positive because of where I was in my life. And so every time, we call it like turning a new chapter of your life. I say like you're starting a whole new book. I'm an encyclopedia. I'm not a dictionary. And so every version of me has just gotten better, and I've grown up and I've matured and I've changed and I've learned. And, one thing that kind of came from it was I just remembered who I was, say, 15 years ago when I called it venting, and you sit around with your friends and everybody's unhappy and they were all venting. But at the end of the day, looking back, I'm like, it wasn't really venting. It was like we were so miserable. Misery loves company. You find people who all want to be miserable together. And then when you do get happy or something positive happens, you realize those same people want you back in the club, and they're not happy for you and they're not cheering you on. And I think that's when I started seeing I don't want to be part of that anymore. Like I still dearly love this person, but I'm not in the same headspace anymore. But we keep on getting back, like we want to keep going back to that headspace, and I don't want to be part of that. And so when I became a branch manager, so that was 6 years ago, it was right like during COVID. And when the offices reopened, and I started COVID, as an agent from home. One of my oldest daughter had to come back from college. It was devastating to her 3 days before her 21st birthday to have to come back and live with me. My other daughter sort of packed up and went to move to college with her boyfriend. And then I still had a young one in school at home. And it started out, I was like, this is going to be a lot of fun. It's like an extended snow day. Like next week, everything will be great. And the more it dragged on, the more like it was very emotionally and mentally taxing on me, trying to prop up my kids, prop up myself, stay positive with my business, fulfill the obligations I had to my clients. I was on the board of directors with my association and doing all of those things. And I slowly started to decline because I wasn't around people. I wasn't going out. When I finally, I guess, emerged from that, I kind of hit a rock bottom and I came back from it. And in that time, I had this opportunity to apply for this role. So when I took the job, I said, well, if I have to go work in an office every day, I have to be around, first of all, people that I want to work with. So I have to be around people who are very positive. I can't listen to a lot of complaining. I don't want to be around a lot of negativity. I don't like the diva mindset at all. And so I just established what I was looking for. But then I also realized I'm not going to see the agents in this office every day. And, somebody would come in and it was the first time I met them. It was the first time that other agents had met them in person. So I said, if I'm not giving you the best I can of me, and the one time that you meet me, or the one time you interact with me in 6 months, what are you going to walk away from, of what you think about me? And it's contagious. We've all been to a party or we've met people where you get trapped in the corner and you're like, I just want to get away. Like they've got this cloud over them, like it's an energy thing. And the converse is also true, that you find that person, everybody is magnetic. They want to be near that person because they've got such great energy or great vibe. And I decided I want to be that person. I don't want people to be like, I don't want to talk to her or see her or come into the office because she's here.
I would talk to you every day if I could.
Oh, I would totally do the same with you. That's why we totally hit it off in Gen Blue.
Well, I'm glad I know you now. I mean, we've all been through. Listen, there's a lot to unpack there. I think we could have a full conversation on how COVID affected us. I was in education during COVID, so everything was on screen. There was no going in person. And when the opportunity came to take this role in 2022, it was like, I need to be around people. I think that's the greatest responsibility we have in this role is we are the gatekeeper, so to speak, and you bring in one bad apple and that spoils the bunch. And, I can't say enough good things about the people in this office, and that comes from my predecessor and her predecessor. And energy is the number one thing. I have two rules, and I say this to every single agent who sits in front of me, whether they're new to business or whether they're experienced. I say, first, you have to have a learner's mindset. If you don't know something, ask. And if you do know the answer to something and an agent is asking you, tell them, because there is no magic secret that you have that you're going to keep all to yourself that is going to make you better than everybody else. It doesn't exist, right? The rising tide lifts all boats. And then the second one is no jerks. Yeah. Now, that's not to say that somebody can, act different in front of you and then, so on and so forth. But as long as the person smiles or say laugh in front of me, and I'm like, listen, I have to say this because I mean it wholeheartedly. The business is hard enough. When you walk in this door, I want you to be better when you leave. And like you said, if you're only here once a month, whether it's crying in my office, I have tissues, right? Things happen. Whether it's laughing because you need a laugh, whether it's, a happy hour or taking agents to cold plunge or whatever it is, or going through a piece of a contract and talking about how you could do it differently next time and better. That's what we're here for. And without the energy, I can't even imagine some of the stories that agents have told me, at other offices when they've studied abroad and come back. And it's very unreal to me because that's our responsibility. Everybody needs to be better when they walk back out that door. However that looks, it's going to look different for everybody.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And how do you carry that, besides bringing the agents in that fit that mindset and that avatar, how do you carry that to your team? I mean, you do an everyday call, right?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think you have to model the behavior that you want, or that you're also expecting. I think that's a big part of it. You say no jerks. When I interview people, I say we do not do divas in this office. Like 100%. And people always, if they're coming from another brokerage, they're like, I love that. I love to hear that. And because it's just true. Like, it really doesn't matter what your production level is. It doesn't excuse you from mistreating people or being abusive or being disrespectful of time and boundaries. My big thing right now with coaching my agents is like, it is not a flex to say you're a 24/7 agent. It's not a flex to tell people like, oh, I'm working my entire vacation while you're taking pictures of your kids and your family at the beach and you're sitting on a phone. And I've done that, by the way.
Sure.
I did it. And what I remember now, I'm in this very introspective period right now because my youngest daughter is about to go away to college. I've sent 3, this will be the 3rd one out the door. And what I remember the most about her, because I worked the most when she was young, I was a single mom, really dove into my business more with her because the older two were older, out of the house, or more sufficient. What I remember is not one client I talked to. I can't remember the agents I was working with on the other side of the deal. Can't tell you what the problems were that seemed so incredibly important. I checked my phone every 2 minutes and interrupted. We called it Bridget mommy time, like always on the phone. I can't remember any of that, but I remember putting my daughter to bed at night when she would tell me she hadn't spent enough time with me during the day. It breaks my heart to think about it as she's 18 now, because now I go to her and say, hey, you want to hang out? And she's like, no, and I'm like, and it stings a little bit. And now I'm going back and I'm thinking like, gosh, what was I doing to my 7-year-old when she wanted me to come to a Christmas party or a holiday party at school, but I didn't schedule or I didn't plan enough to take the time off and just time block 2 hours of my day. I didn't need to drop everything every single time. And so I think that just is very important to remember.
It's a powerful message.
All of us. Yeah, for all of us.
100%. I mean, with your life partner, your friendships, all like you said, I guess I'm kind of in that mode too, where I think about if I'm on my deathbed, what memory am I going to have?
Yeah.
Is it going to be this conversation? Is it going to be this conversation? Is it going to be this activity? Is it going to be this activity? And it's just kind of reshifting. And that's a very powerful message because boundaries are so hard, not even just in real estate, but in life in general, with the dopamine that's being shoved in our faces 24/7. And the only thing I'll say to what you said is it's never too late.
No.
Right?
No.
As long as you recognize that there's something that you want to do differently, you can. Yeah. It's been proven with our brains can change. And that's such a powerful thing. Talking about those boundaries, what would be your top few tips for agents in terms of setting up those boundaries? Because this is difficult to do.
Yeah.
So not working 24/7, what do you recommend?
I tell everybody, I do not know how you don't live by your calendar. Like, how do you not live by your calendar? When I was a mother of 3 kids, when I was the mother of 1 kid, I would go to the pediatrician. I brought in my paper organizer book that I carried with me everywhere because the calendar was in there, and that they would say, you ready to schedule your 3-month appointment, pediatric appointment? Yes, I'd pull out my calendar. I'd look at the dates. I'd put it on there. And that was fixed. I knew 3 months from now I was going to the pediatrician at 10 o'clock. And so I knew not to schedule anything around it. And so even when I didn't work and I was just taking care of kids, I still had to manage all of the things on my calendar. And so once I moved to putting it on my phone, I was like, this is ridiculously easy. So somebody calls me and says, hey, let's go have dinner. 2 weeks from now, I look at my calendar, I'm free, I put it on my calendar. Like, that was the thing I guess I learned, where I wasn't prioritizing, I know that they're going to be going on a field trip or something and they want volunteers for the field trip. I better put it on my calendar right now because I want to go. I want to sign up as the chaperone. Let me get it on my calendar so I do not schedule anything that day. And so I wouldn't do that with everything in my personal life, but I was really good about doing it with doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, the things that you knew you had to handle, things that were coming up with work, appointments with your clients. So 100% I say to all my agents, the new ones especially, like, get your phone out and put down whatever happens every day, every week, every month, whatever is recurring, put it on your calendar right now. Because then when somebody calls you and says, can you do an open house for me? You don't say yes on your spouse's birthday.
Mhm.
And somebody calls you and says, I want to go look at a house. You can pull out your calendar and say, I'm free at this time and this time, but you don't say, when do you want to go out and look at the house? Because inevitably, the one time that they throw out there is the only time that you have something on your calendar. And agents are so afraid to say no to the client because they think by saying no, then they're going to lose them and they're not going to get paid. But I said the reverse really is true. If you tell somebody, here's when I'm available, generally they can pick when you're available. If they can't, then you can go in and maybe move some things around or have a better conversation. But I don't know about you, but if I tried to make a hair appointment, a doctor's appointment, they never say to me, when do you want to come? They say,
100%.
here's what I have available. And
Yep.
if it doesn't work, you look at the next date. And that's how you have to run it's a business. You have to run your business. Your business should not run you. And I also tell them you need to treat your family, your friendships, your health. That has to be a priority. It just has to. And so if it's not on the calendar, it's like it doesn't exist, but you have to treat it the same way you would treat an appointment. You wouldn't cancel a listing appointment because you got a better offer, but we do definitely have a tendency to say, hey, I know I told you I was going to do this, your son, your children, your spouse, your best friend. And you say, but this just came up. Somebody wants me to go look at their house. So I'm going to have to put you off. And that's just time you can't get back. I mean, it's gone, and the more it's different when you do it once in a while. Like there's always going to be exceptions to the rule, always. But when you're consistently choosing somebody or something over something else, and that something else is not taking care of your health, things all of a sudden snowball and you're like, I really wish I had paid more attention to my body. Same, your kids all of a sudden grow up, your marriages start falling apart, your relationships fall apart. And all of that, there were lots of signs. There were lots of things that led up to it a lot of the time. And it's when people don't feel like they're a priority, that's a problem.
Yeah. And I can't say enough things about the calendar.
I mean, I can't exist without it. If it's not on the, it does not exist.
And it's hard because I've been diving just personally into a lot of things in the ADHD world because
Same.
you're told that when you're 44 years old, which was, not that long ago. I'm like, all right, well, that explains some things. Great. How do we make this work for us? And just even starting that, I think for some agents, just writing it down, right? We say, if you've got a goal, don't keep it up here, write it down, whatever that percentage is that it's more likely to come to fruition. Same thing with your calendar. Don't keep it up here. Why? Get rid of that space that it's taking up, put it in your phone, color code it. And like you said, if you've got a dentist appointment, well, you write that down. But why is your mental health not as important? Because if you're not spending that time with your family, with your friends, and doing what fills your cup, you're not taking care of your headspace. And we know that just spills over into all other parts of our body that can literally cause heart failure and everything else. And
But it's so true. And I think the thing with the calendar too, that I share with agents is, when somebody calls you and they want to go look at a house, or your seller wants you to come over and, do something in the house or meet with you and talk about a price reduction or whatever, telling them that I can't do that because it's my daughter's birthday party, big mistake. They don't care because now you just told them, so something is more important. I'm more important. They're more important than you. And this is your client. They want to be up here. And so that does not fly. You have to treat everything as an appointment to your clients. It's an appointment to people that don't need to know what your business is, because people respect appointments because they understand that it's hard to change an appointment, but you could throw off everything if it's personal.
Yep.
And total case in point, learned this as an agent. when I told one of my sellers, my daughter is having surgery, 16-year-old's having surgery. I'm going to be at the hospital all day. I will not be answering the phone. I've got somebody who can help if somebody wants to see the property, but I won't be able to answer the phone. She blew up my phone all morning. I mean, just, she decided she wasn't happy about something, but needed to talk to me right then. And I felt so disrespected, but I realized that I was mad that she didn't enforce what I told her. But then I also recognized that the problem was that I allowed myself to look at the phone. I read the text messages. I listened to the voicemail. And I was like, I put this boundary out there, but I'm the one breaking the boundary because it doesn't matter. She can call and text me all day. I don't have to answer it. And that's a learning lesson too with boundaries, because people test them and they want to see if you're going to stand firm with them.
It's such great advice, and it's such smart advice. I tell all of the agents in the office, my phone's on from 8 to 8. You can text me at 10 o'clock. That's great. I'm going to get it the next morning. If it's an emergency, well, then call 911, because the only emergencies in real estate is the house is on fire.
Exactly.
And it's like this just shock when I even mentioned, like, give the first hour of your day to yourself. It needs to be your CEO activities before you even check your inbox. How are you taking care of what's up here? How are you setting your intentions for the day? We all wake up and we have bad days too. So how are we going to shift that around a little bit? We need to give ourselves that time and that grace to be able to take care of ourselves and then move into the day.
Yeah.
Going into mindset, I know this is so big for you. When you have an agent who comes to you and they say, well, I just need more leads. There's no other way I can grow my business. I just want more leads. How do you help them see a different path or a different avenue than just thinking that they need more leads?
Well, so one of the things I say is, tell me what a lead is. Define what a lead is. And so if a lead is, you want leads, what you're asking me for, probably what you're really asking me for is you want me to hand you a ready, willing, and able buyer, seller, whatever, tenant. What you're telling me is you want me to hand you business. That's usually what that means to me. I'll try to get that information out or get them to define it. And so I'll say, well, what a lead really is a name, a phone number, an email address. Maybe it's somebody who inquired about a property. You're making an assumption because they inquired that they're ready to buy that property. But I say usually it could be somebody who's like sitting in their parents' basement in their underwear, playing online. They found a house they liked and now they've decided they'd like to go look at it. You don't know anything about that person. It's just a name and a phone number. And I said, if you looked at every single person that you meet every single day as a lead, face to face, or friends on social media, if you looked at those people as leads, I said, how would your interactions with them be different than they are now? And I have just the greatest example. I use this all the time. I have an agent who joined me last year from another brokerage. She'd been licensed for a couple of years and not gotten the training, the coaching, the mentoring, everything that she needed. She's so motivated to make her business work, but didn't know what to do. So she joined us. We were doing a Monday coaching session, and we were talking about the fact that you have to go out and talk to people. You have to give them your cards. You have to tell them what you do for a living. And she had these she wears these really great, fun, funky earrings, definitely like statement earrings. So I think it was like that day or the next day, I get like a text message from her. And she's like, I was shopping after we had that session and this woman stopped me at the store, told me how much she loved my earrings. We interacted a little bit. I walked away and she said, I could hear everybody in that room telling me, you have to give her your card. You have to tell her you're a realtor. So she said she turned around in the store, went back to the woman and said, something like, it was so great talking to you. By the way, I'm a realtor. Here's my card. Keep in touch. And the woman said, I'm actually looking for a place to live right now. And I kid you not, like within, I think a week, she had a commission check come in. It was a rental, but she made money that she wouldn't have made went back and did what she heard that she needed to do. And her business has just taken off. I mean, in the last year, she quit her full-time job.
Woohoo!
Making the money she needs to make for her family. She's got big goals. She's so on track to hit them. But, she had even approached me about potentially a leads program and sent me all the information. And I said, I really don't do this. First of all, it's a lot of money. But I said, I urge you to just do the work, like talk to people, talk to more people, like your success story, dig into the networking that you really like to do. And I said, but wait for the demonstration of our new home platform, because what they're selling you, you're going to have for free. And it was around the time they were able to see the demo, and she hit me up and said, I'm so glad I talked to you first, because you're right. This is what they were selling me. And it was the terms of it were like ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this yesterday. We had the regional, it wasn't like the big home platform parties we all had, but this was a smaller portion of our region with all of our admins as well. And I gave the example of somebody who I was speaking to at another brokerage and was telling me how much they had paid to get these lists of likely to sell.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know these people. They don't have the phone numbers. It's here's the addresses. You can mail a postcard once a quarter of these people who might be likely to sell. And now we have that technology at our fingertips with a 10% conversion rate within 6 to 12 months. It's wild. And it goes back to what you said about having conversations, because you can be afraid of social media and technology and the internet and AI, but nobody can take that piece away from you. And the stronger you can become at that just by doing it, putting in the reps and having the conversations, the longer, number one, you're going to last in this business, the more business you're going to bring in, and the less fear you're going to have from all of these different things that are going to take a real estate professional's job, because nobody can take away those conversations, and we can't give them to you either. We can give you the scripts or the framework to use, but I absolutely love that. That is such a huge win. Congratulations to your agent.
It was so great. Yeah.
So we have records on the wall. I'm pointing, like you can see where it is. It's on the other side. Started that, I don't even remember when I started it. I guess 2025. Actual records from Amazon. I thought they would be like craft records, but on the back of it. So I just gave one to an agent today, and it was like the best of Bill Cosby. I'm like, where did these even come from? Like, this is insane. But I got the white stickers to put on top of it. So you'd put your name, how many homes you want to sell or how many families you want to help, and all these different things. And much like you're saying, Pam in this office last year, she'd been at a few different brokerages, been in the business for about 7 years, and put a record up on the wall with 5 million. She'd never hit that number yet in volume. And the video of her breaking that over her knee last November was just like, it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it, because it wasn't the record. It wasn't any of this stuff except for a mindset shift and having more of those conversations. And as humans, we have that power. We can actually change our brains. And it's something that I just wish I could scream from the rooftops. Are there any books or any podcasts or anything you're listening to right now to keep you in this energy mindset type of mindset that you even have right now?
Not like really nothing specifically. Like I think just interacting, one of the great things about our jobs, our roles, is being able to talk to the agents every day. And I definitely get down to, so if that's the case, I usually will go on YouTube and I'll like Google mindset videos, and I'll sit and meditate and listen to, maybe Napoleon Hill, or I'll listen to Bob Proctor or Brené Brown, or there's like all these, Mel Robbins. There's all these really great motivational kind of mindset people. But meditating or praying or talking to somebody and hearing their wins, or when somebody is doing really well or all of a sudden is having a breakthrough in the office, meaning they haven't been doing anything for a while and all of a sudden they're busy. I always say, what did you just do different? What's different right now from 30 or 60 days ago? Where did this come from? And they'll tell me, they started digging into cleaning out their database, like we've been talking about ad nauseum this year. Or hey, I hear a lot in my office. I always hear your voice in my ear. I feel like you're on my shoulder talking to me, because they'll if somebody will ask for advice, they'll take the advice and it will lead to a positive outcome. And that helps keep my mind set up too. So if I'm having a bad day, if I'm going through a little bit of a tougher time or something, I go back to the people I'm serving and check in with them. And then when I get their wins, that helps also lift me up too, because I recognize that I am doing important work. Like, people think I'm just in here, you're just managing an office, but it is more than that, because the role that we have, and I look at it more as like a coaching, mentoring, business building partnership. If I'm able to help you quit that full-time job you didn't want to work anymore, and I'm helping you feed your family, pay your mortgage, you want to buy a house, so we're helping you get your income up so you can eventually buy a house. That is a lot more than just managing and signing your documents.
And it's different because we oversee independent contractors. They're
Right.
not employees. And
Yeah.
success looks different to everybody. And that's the beauty of this business.
Exactly.
And that's the scary part of this business.
Yeah.
And to be able to help each individual achieve whatever their version of success looks like.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot more going on than just managing 100 or 150 employees that are already getting a paycheck that could sit in a cubicle all day for a couple hours. And right before this session, I was doing a coaching session with a newer to business agent. And I said, all right, over the last 6 months, give me 3 challenges. And it's like, boom, boom, boom. Those challenges came right out. Now give me 3 wins. Silence. We are not continuing this conversation until you give me 3 wins. And that's just how it has to be. And it doesn't matter how small you think they are. Those are what lead to the big ones. And for myself, when that comes out of my mouth, that they've got to give me a win, after that meeting, I have to give myself a win as well. Right. It just reminds me to continually do that.
But it's funny you said that, because I say the same thing to the agents in my office too, because success does look different to everybody. Not everybody wants to be a top producer. Not everybody wants to sell 15 houses this year. Not everybody wants to hit 6-figure income. Everybody is different. But I talked to a client this week that was having trouble in a transaction, and they're buying almost $1 million house. And they were just, what she said was, well, this is $1 million house. It's not like it's a little bit of money. It's important to us. And it, for whatever reason, it was kind of like resonating with me as I was driving home that night, where I remember working with clients when I could sell houses for under $100,000. They're impossible to find now. But here, having a client come to me, they had just been pre-approved to spend $100,000, and them saying $100,000 is a lot of money. And I would say, it sure is. The fact that you can buy a $100,000 house is just as equally important as somebody who's qualified to buy a $1 million house. They are both a lot of money. I mean, in general, it's a lot of money, but it's a lot of money to you. It doesn't mean that your level of customer service goes down because you're not spending as much. And that's a mindset in its own. But the same goes to the agents. Like, you want to sell, you're brand new, you want to sell 1 house this year, like, let's do it. Same with the person coming in my office who wants to sell 25. Let's do it. The work is essentially the same. The mindset work is, a lot of it is the same. It's just going to be working on a different level.
Absolutely. And like going back to what you were saying with the boundaries, if not everybody wants to sell 50 homes in a year because you've got 2 little ones at home, you got in this business because it does give you some freedom in different ways.
Yeah.
And selling 6 homes a year is going to satisfy that. And there's so much more than just money. But I have to ask you, we're on all these calls, right? Doing all the things just in our roles that we do. What do you think is the most overhyped leadership thing out there right now? Whether it's some kind of trend or word that's used, what do you think is the most overhyped? And don't say sitting here with a microphone, because I love my pink microphones. So that's not going anywhere.
First of all, just don't tell me to lean into something, because I really hate that.
Let me circle back to you on that, okay? Then, yeah, I know.
I really hate that. I think what's overhyped, and this I think is so driven by social media, is the idea that everybody should be doing all the same things. Everybody should be doing the things. I always talk about be authentic, be you. And the best value proposition, your value proposition is yourself. That's it. I have an agent in the office right now who really wanted to dig in, and she's been making videos, and she is a complete natural. She was like, "Oh no, I don't know about it." And I said, "People in the office are telling me they're seeing your videos online and they're commenting on how great your videos are. You just got people calling you to go buy a house from you because they saw your video." I said, "You're a total natural at this. Does that mean I think everybody in my office can make videos? No, and I wouldn't watch them either, because it's not them, but they do something else. Like they blow something else out of the water. And so everybody saying you need to do this is wrong. You don't all need to do this. And we don't have to all be super loud and out there to be noticed. And I've never subscribed to that, like, the squeaky wheel, whatever, gets whatever they want. Just because you're loud and out there doesn't mean you're the one who should be heard the most. Sometimes it's the people who are behind the scenes, quieter, doing their things. I think, being behind the scenes and quieter are just equally as effective. And you just have to find what works for you.
Well, was that pointed at me because I feel like I'm very loud and I try not? No, I'm kidding.
It's a mask for the smoke, that's like we're getting
my God, I know.
Smoke today. It's so bad.
I was very disappointed last night. I got home a little bit earlier than normal by 15 minutes and was like, I'm going to go paddleboarding. And I looked out the front window and just all the smoke. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't even go to the pool. Today's is apparently even worse. I don't know, because I'm in the office. So all the windows are closed around me.
My whole drive in, my eyes were watering. My nose was like running. And so my title person who just brought me a mask, like looked it up online, said there's a lot of particles in the air today.
Oh, geez.
And so they were recommending if you're outside, you should have a mask on so you're not breathing it in.
Well, I mean, I went to Starbucks this morning to get a coffee for my amazing admin because I don't know what I would do without her. And then came in and she had brought me a soft pretzel. I was like, well, this is going to be a healthy day.
You guys are quite the team, aren't you?
But even rolling down, I know we're always on the same wavelength. She's phenomenal. Awesome. Always rolling down the window at the drive-thru. I'm just like, oh God, am I going to die? And then I could almost feel it, which is so weird. And I don't know if it was psychosomatic or not, but I just kept rolling the window up I feel bad for the women that are I know. She just happened to be a woman, the customer service reps at the window that have to breathe in this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can't change that on this call. So
exactly.
Can I rapid fire you some mindset things and you say yay or nay as to whether or not you think they work or they don't for agents?
Okay.
Vision boards.
Yes.
Definitely. The 5 a.m. club.
I'm trying to work myself into it. Yes, it does work though.
I think it works depending upon your chronotype, whatever your sleeping pattern is.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me. Nope. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. Gratitude journaling.
Yes.
Are you a fan of doing it before bed or when you wake up?
So I believe I will say I say that I don't do it right now. I do more of not writing it down. You're supposed to write it down, but I see how it works for people who do it. I express it all day though.
I love doing it before bed because our minds don't shut off. Yeah. So by focusing on that good, putting the notebook right back on the nightstand before you go to bed, it works for me personally.
Yeah.
Do you like the saying, fake it till you make it?
No, I don't like it now.
I don't either. The only thing that you can fake is the trust in yourself because eventually it will come. But for those that don't fake what you know, that's not what I'm talking about. But if you don't have that confidence yet, that's the piece that, obviously there's some training and preparation that needs to be done too. But yeah, I'm not a fan of saying it. Mindset can be taught. You're not just born with it.
100%. Agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. Social media is bad for an agent's mindset.
It depends. It depends on who you are.
Yeah. That's our favorite answer in real estate, right? It depends.
Yeah.
What's that
That's
contract
what the
question?
lawyers all say too.
Manifestation.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, you said yes to vision boards. I kind of figured that would be a yes too. Hard money goals posted where everyone can see them.
I don't know about everyone, but yes, I think that you should have them posted where you can see them.
There you
at
go.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. What about breath work or meditation before a listing appointment?
Oh, yeah.
And then the last one, the home platform.
Yes.
100%.
Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Okay. Last question for you. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to have two more questions.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing about the home platform? What are you most excited about? We're in the middle of July.
Oh, gosh. So I was saying yesterday, like, I love so many things about it. The one thing I think that is like the most ridiculous piece of it is the AI assistant. Because you can go in and ask the AI assistant to do all these things for you, and it does it. And so I can go in and make a CMA. I can create a CMA, or I can tell the AI assistant to create a CMA for me. And it does. And I can check it and I can, whatever. That's just insane what it can do.
I agree. I just think the mobile functionality of it in general.
Yeah.
That's the biggest seller for me.
Oh, it's so great.
And so what part of Virginia are you in?
Prince William County. So we're like 35, 40 minutes from Washington, D.C.
So anybody who visits Prince William County, where should they go to have a great meal?
Goodness gracious. There's too many restaurants to say. I don't know. It just depends what kind of food you want. But a lot of people that come here go to Potomac Mills Mall, which is this massive mall with lots of food courts. But they literally bring tour bus in here of people from other countries to go shopping over there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't even have a favorite restaurant. There's too many great places to go around here.
What is that area? Is the area known for anything? Like I'm in the burbs outside of Philly. Yeah. So Philly cheesesteaks.
No, I don't think
anything?
so. No, this is a really diverse area, which is phenomenal. So we have so many different types of ethnic foods. We have like Quantico is nearby. So we have a lot of military, a lot of contractors, lots of government workers in the area. Lots of people that come in from different areas. So there's just a little bit of Prince William County is just a great place.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And if I was driving to you and said, we're going to do dinner tonight, I like sushi, I like ribs, I like Cuban food. Where would you take me? Not all together, by the way, not all together.
All right. So I would say let's go eat Lebanese food because I just love Lebanese food. It's so good. So Layla's Lebanese is delicious. Katerina's Greek food, Manassas, is delicious. I love that too. And then I always am trying to grab my fiance now to go eat Ethiopian food with me because I just adore it. He is just not sold yet on trying it. He's pretty adventurous with everything, but I cannot sell him on it. So that's where I would take you.
Well, one day I will come visit. Who knows where Gem Blue is going to be? You know what I mean? Next year. So we'll have to wait and see. But Chrissi, I appreciate the conversation, and there are so many great nuggets in this, and it's always nice talking to you. So thanks for the conversation.
I know, you too. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was fun.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, share it with a friend.